Hello, this is Tammy, the president of Fun and Adventure from Singles Travel International. And I'm here tonight to go over our program in Costa Rica and answer all the questions for our travelers. We're heading out there. We're going to be there from the 20th to the 30th. And it's going to be an exciting event. And I'm just going to go ahead and go over all of the documents that we've shared with everybody in advance. And this group, I have to say, you guys are the most prepared of any group ever. So congratulations and kudos to all of you, because we're really going to be able to go through this pretty quickly because you've already done all your preparation. So I'm going to, give you a big hats off. So let me go ahead and share my screen. In order to find the documents for this trip, which we call the final vacation details and meetup information, it's on the website on the actual trip page. So you would navigate to the Costa Rica. You also got this via email, but just in case somebody's watching this that didn't have it, then you click on the trip page, and over here on the left-hand side where it says your travel documents, you click on that, and that takes you to this document here. So this is what we call the final vacation details. We always deliver this 21 days before departure, except this time because there was a lot of moving parts. And then you have all of the details that you need in order to get to the destination, meet up with your concierge, and make sure that we've got all of your correct information and translated that correctly. So right on the first page, there's a couple of important pieces of information. My name is Tammy. I am the leader for this one. This is the President's Club vacation. We do one a year where I actually go and lead. So that's this trip, the President's Club Costa Rican Single Safari. Always when you're traveling with us, your concierge is on duty 24/7. We're in uniform. We wear a name badge. We are going to prepare a daily program for you that you'll get on the trip so that you always know where the group is. If you go off and adventure off on your own, you know what the group is doing all day, every day, so that you can independently explore, but reconnect with everybody at any given point. We do that if we're in the USA by just using the phone. While we're internationally, we're going to be using WhatsApp. I'll create a WhatsApp stream for all of us to connect into. And so if anybody doesn't have WhatsApp downloaded on their phone and they need some help with that, we can do that. I'm happy to help you, whether we do it offline after tonight's meeting or when we get to Costa Rica. But my phone number is here in the first page of the letter, 815-715-6998. And so I would recommend putting that in your contacts, so that if you have any delays coming to San Jose, then please contact me. If you're in the US and you're having some issues and you're not able to get through to me, you can always call our office at the 877 number. That's 877-765-6874. And just press 0 and somebody on the team will call you right back. And so they will then reach out to me. But most people are savvy these days, but we wanted to give you both of those pieces of information in case you have an emergency on travel day. So we also then have our checklist for preparing for the vacation. And like I said, everybody on this trip has already completed everything. Tonight was pretty much the last step. You're here at the meet and greet. So any questions that we haven't answered in this 15-page document, we're going to answer tonight. And we had a couple of open ends that are now closed. So I'll be able to help everybody with all of that. So I'm just going to go to page 2. Again, because this has happened, please check your passport. We still have 10 days. Make sure that you have 6 months left on your passport from the return date, which is going to be December 30th. So you want to make sure you have a good 6 months. So that would be June 30th. Make sure passport's good until June 30th of 2024. If not, you will need to call us, okay? All of the options that were available to add, everybody has booked. I want to highly recommend travel insurance if you haven't taken it yet, because after 30 years of doing vacations, nobody ever intends to make a claim on their insurance. It's always an emergency situation, something you couldn't have imagined. And you don't have to get it from us. If you have your own preferred carrier, by all means, but it's excellent to have in case you have an accident or anything happens on the trip, even if you have to go see the nurse on board. Although on Star Clippers, I have to say, unlike the big cruise ships, I think when I was there in March, the nurse charges $10. So it's pretty nominal. But if we have to do something serious, you're going to want to have insurance. It's also covering lost luggage, delayed flights. If you miss the bus, here's one. If you miss, you're supposed to arrive on the 20th, and we have one bus that's going up to RNL at 3:30. If your flight comes in late and you miss that, the ride up to RNL by yourself is about $250. So that would be something you could claim on your insurance. Right.
And if I may interrupt Tammy for 1 second, I've been trying to travel with Singles Travel International now, probably for about 12 or 14 years. My first booking was with Crete, the Isle of Crete rendezvous. And I was young, I was in my 30s. I was like, travel insurance, who buys that? I got sick, so sick 4 days before, and I didn't have travel insurance, and I lost I lost my trip. So, I recommend it. So anyway.
Thanks, Cheryl. Now I know that's you speaking, because I can't see you now that I'm presenting, but I know that's
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't mention that earlier, but that's a sad case. You're back after all this time, but it does happen. We never think that there's going to be a volcano erupting over the Atlantic, or that there's going to be another war that breaks out, or there's going to be something that happens. So it's good. Okay, enough about insurance. If you want it, just go ahead and email this address. Catherine will give you a quote and help you purchase it right away if you'd like to do that before you leave. You all filled out your form, so I'm not going to go into this, except to say at this time, when I talk about the fit and willing to travel, everybody filled this form out. It was on Google. We're able to gather your important information, your flights, so that we can go ahead and pick you up at the airport and things like that. But we also gathered some important information about special meals. Guys, if you didn't fill that in, please let my team know. Just email us at service. You don't have to go back into the form, but we just had a group in Canada, and 2 ladies never told us that they were vegetarians. We found out when they sat down at the restaurant. So it's really hard to accommodate that. I'm not that good of a cook. So please, if you have a special dietary need, just email the service team before we leave and let us know what that is. On the cruise ship, it's pretty easy to accommodate. Not so sure up in the mountains, right? So also in the fit and willing to travel, we had you agree that you would be a good citizen on this vacation. And I'm bringing this up because even though we're past the pandemic, I'm going to tell you that being in a group, you're coming on airplanes, we're going to be on a cruise ship. All of those places have things going on. I mean, I'm not a medical person, so what do I mean by that? There's flu, there's this RLS now, and then there's still COVID. So if you feel susceptible and you want to wear a mask, I want you to know that in this group, everybody's going to be minding their own P's and Q's, right? So don't feel bad if you want to be the guy to wear the mask. Because there will be, I'm sure by the time we finish this cruise, probably somebody's going to catch a little something, whether it's just a cold or a flu, but it could be, right? So if you're nervous, I want you to feel safe with this group, that nobody's going to give you a hard time. I just read an article this morning, and I myself was probably going to wear a mask on the plane, and I don't feel compromised, but I have to lead you guys, so I want to make sure that I'm healthy when I get off the plane. So in that fit and willing to travel, you agree to whatever circumstances arise, and if I have to give some guidance, I'm going to say to the group, hey, there's been an influence. Somebody in the group is not well. I'm not able to tell you who it is, but I can just tell you that if that it's around somebody in the cruise has it, mask up or whatever you feel like you want to do to be comfortable. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know, because that's usually people want to know who it is, and because of HIPAA rules, I'm obligated by law to keep that information confidential. Any questions? Does anybody want to talk about that, or we can wait till after the presentation? If nothing pops up right now, I'll move on to the next item, which is the WhatsApp. So my phone number is my WhatsApp number. So it's a regular application on your phone, and we like this one because whether you're on iPhone or Android, it is a reliable communication source for all of those models. Sometimes when you're out of the country and you try to text between an iPhone and an Android, it doesn't work. So we have that experience. And so therefore, that's why we're going to use the WhatsApp. Now you have to have internet access for WhatsApp. So on the cruise ship, the cruise is so tiny. For those of you that haven't been on this is the ship behind me. It's 3 decks. There's probably going to be 150 passengers. There's only a forward, an aft, and a mid, right? And it's really small and easy to find people. But let's say you're off the ship and you're not with me and something happens and you need to communicate. If you don't have international service, then you can hook up to somebody's internet and send me a message. I'm going to tell you that in some of the ports, especially the last day when we get to Isla Tortugas, we're not going to have internet at all. Okay, so I hope no one's coming on this for work because we're going to be on vacation. And it's pretty good all the way up until that last day. But that last 36 hours, we're going to be in pretty much of a dead zone. Okay, so Cheryl, yeah, you raised your hand. Go for it.
I'm sorry, I'm always gonna have questions.
No, it's okay.
When you said no internet, so like no network, like 3G, 4G, 5G?
Yeah, everything's
no
going to
service
be,
at all.
it's going to,
Tortuga.
yeah, because we're out of any tower area.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah, so I'll do all of I'll make sure that I reconfirm our bus to pick us up and all of that, which by the way, I have already, but I like to confirm everything always in advance. I do that in advance. So that morning we're all set to go because we might just not have any connection. Now the ship also has internet packages. So you can use your own if you want to use international, but it is, so it can defer to satellites, and that's where the big expenses come in. So on board the cruise ship, there is internet and the packages. I know that it's in the letter here, but it's pretty reasonable. I'm just pulling up a thing that I had from the last cruise. It's 1 hour is €6, 4 hours is €18. And right now, so on board our ship, you did read that the currency of choice is the euro. So it's very even to the US dollar right now. It's almost exactly even. So if you want to convert it, I just ask Siri, convert €18 to USD, and she tells me, but it's around $19. So for $19, $20, you get 4 hours. And when we get on board, I'll show you, you'll have a slip in your cabin about how to access. It's a little clunky, but if you have some trouble, the front desk can help you. I'm able to help you. You just have to go through that training the first time on how to buy your package and then log in to the internet to use it. And it's the kind of internet where you have to turn it on and you have to be sure to log off when you're done. Otherwise, the minutes keep ticking. So again, I'm going to talk about this when we're on the way to the ship that day. I'll talk about it again. And I'll be at your disposal the whole time because I know the first day is always a little funny. People have, they have some frustration trying to get on and stuff. So I want to make it as easy as possible for you. Everybody already checked in and I sent the documents to you via email. So I'm going to kind of dash over to another screen here. Can everybody see that I have the email that says President's Club Costa Rican Single Safari Cruise Documents for Linda Jordan? Does everybody see that?
Yep.
Yes, okay, good. So you each got one of these with your name on it, and attached is your travel document. So that's your ticket. There was a list of excursions. There's a public health questionnaire, just like all the cruises. So you're not going to fill that out until you're on the bus, but print that and bring it with you. And there's a sports risk waiver, so print that. And then you want to have all these documents with you when we leave Arenal to go to the port on the 23rd, or for those of you that are just going directly from the San Jose area to the cruise. That's why I sent these out separately with unique messages that apply to you, so that you can have these downloaded and bring those with you. Now, okay, great. So that check-in, because you were able to complete that, that allowed us to send you your tickets. So there's no other steps for you to take. I just want to be clear about that, because I know there were plenty. I don't know when vacation turned into going back to school and doing homework, but it sure has these days. So so if there's no questions about that, let me go down to the next page. We would love everybody to, post while you're there. This is how we tell the story to other singles out there who've never heard of it, who have some, hesitation about it. They're watching on Facebook. They see what your friends are seeing, what you're doing. And we think it's a great place for singles over 50 to meet new people and make new friends. And we wish that we had this opportunity to change your life. If you're open to that, that's where you're at in your life. And we do get testimonials weekly from members saying that the travel, meeting the new people was transformational for them. So I'm not taking credit for it. We feel like the travel is transformational, and people taking the chance and actually doing it is that first step for many to get into a new level of their life. So share. So use the hashtag Singles Travel. So if it's at Singles Travel International on Facebook, at Singles Travel on Instagram. And follow us, because even after this vacation, people all the time are saying, oh, hey, Ed, because they'll see Ed or somebody that they've met on a trip, and it's fun to see everybody else going. So we have memberships on all of these social media outlets. So we would recommend that you get connected. Okay, I earlier talked about my phone number, and here's our toll-free number. Press 0 if you're in the US. Please call and have let my team know what's happening, and they'll send the message downline to me, or just contact me directly. We talked about insurance. At the airport, again, the 3-ounce rule, the 1 quart Ziploc bag, I don't see that really being enforced as much, but the 3-ounce containers, no candles, don't put any candles in your luggage. Just, read the website for the airline that you're traveling to San Jose on, and make sure you're compliant with their latest rules and regulations, and go early. So because it's going to be busy, it's the holiday season, make sure you leave yourself plenty of time to check in. Don't pack your essentials, jewelry, medicine, travel documents, your passport. Leave that all outside before you leave the house, so you don't pack that, because you will need it to carry through. And if your luggage gets lost, that's going to be, I like a challenge, but it's not as fun when it's right in the beginning of the trip. So keep that in mind. And if you do lose your luggage or anything happens, make sure that when you get to San Jose, you go to the baggage claim for the airline that you arrived on, and you file a report, and there's a 6-character claim number that you'll want to get that from your report, so that we can follow and track your luggage online as we go. So I'm hoping nothing happens like that, but please make sure, don't let anybody say you can leave the airport without that report. It's 100% the case worldwide, no matter what airline you go with. So get that report filed and get your baggage, the claim number. So we've got listed here on this page, which is number 5, everybody's flight arrivals and how they are shuttling either to Arenal when they arrive, or they're going to an airport hotel when they arrive, or they're going to the ship when they arrive, right? So we have 3 scenarios
No.
here.
Loki.
Yes. When you take a look at this page, just double check that everything is correct. I believe that we do have everything in order and that it's correct, but you guys have the best eyes because you're looking at your own personal information and you know better. So we just took it from those fit and willing to travel documents that you filled in, that Google form, and we translated it here. So it's an alphabetical order by first name. So go ahead and take a look and make sure that we have the correct information for you. Okay.
So Tammy, the folks that have the free shuttle to the AC Belen, that's an airport hotel then?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, I don't think they're gonna take me for free to our R&L, right? Okay.
No,
Okay. All right. I
you
have
would
not
have to
arranged
do-
that yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay, and it does say see transfer unknown next to your name. So you're
Right.
You told us you were gonna do your own.
But I just wanted to see, like if folks are getting a free transfer, let me see where they're going, but they're staying at the airport.
Right, it's an airport hotel. And down here further on, we talk about that arrival to the hotel. So see here, it says complimentary shuttle available every 30 to 60 minutes on request. So if you are coming to the Belen, and this is the group that's coming that we show so far, that's who told us they were, you have to email this address. It's a little weird. Usually you don't have to, you just stand there and then they come, but they don't come automatically. You have to send them an email and make a request for the time that you're landing. And the approximate, give yourself an hour to go through customs and immigration. So if you're landing at 2, then I would say you can ask for the shuttle at like 3:30, right? And they will send it for you. And here's what it looks like. So it's going to say Bonvoy Marriott. It's got the AC Belen on the bus. You can see it's got the food and everything, but it's got the AC Belen on the window. And this is what the area looks like in the arrivals, where it says busetas de hoteles, or hotel shuttles. And those are all the hotels. So I know one of our group is at the Fairfield. So it's the same thing. So you go and of course your bus is going to say Fairfield, but this is what it looks like. So that should be enough to get everybody to San Jose, find your shuttle bus, get to the hotel. For those who are coming in on the 20th, well, we are going to pick everybody up who agreed and said that they were going to do this and is on this list here. There's actually 17 of us. So there's going to be 6 at the hotel, and we're going to pick you up first. So if you're at the Belen and you're on our group shuttle to Arno Lodge, then we're going to pick you up at 2:30 at AC Belen. And then we're going to pick up the rest of the group at 3:30. So we'll be there around 3. We'll start loading the bus because we were going to take off at 3:30. Okay, so please double check that you've got you're showing up in the right section. And if you have any questions, let me know today or send us an email to follow up, and we'll make the revisions. But I really did, a couple of us combed through this, so I feel pretty confident that it's in good order. And there you are, Cheryl and Robert. You guys have expressed that you're going to do your own independent transfers, arriving on the 19th and then meeting us up at the R&L Lodge on the 20th. But that'll be good. You're getting there early. You get to get a little head start, and you get to relax. And by the way, I looked at the weather, and it's going to be chilly in the mountains. So in Costa Rica, there are 28 microclimates. Now, we're not going to traverse the entire country, but we're going to be going through a good 6 or 7 of them. When we're in the mountains, it's going to be chilly. It's 62 degrees right now there. So for those of you who are coming up to R&L, I would definitely bring a pair of jeans. I would bring a fleece. Layers would be the concept, because as the day goes on, it will get a little bit warmer, so you can peel your layers off. And then as the evening comes along, because we're in a mountain lodge, so even where the restaurant is, your rooms are little individual, units. Some are in a building and some of them are little individual units called chalets. So you'll be walking outside. So bring, hiking boots or sneakers. You don't need hiking boots. We're not doing anything that's super rocky or uneven terrain that you need the support of the ankles, but we're hiking nonetheless. So if you have hiking boots, then you can bring those. But a good pair of sneakers is fine. I would also bring some rain gear. So what I do is I bring a waterproof a lightweight waterproof rain coat that goes over. That's another layer for me. So I can roll it up. It's not really bulky. So I'll have like my fleece on, a t-shirt under that with my rain coat that I bring in case it rains. It has a hood. So if it doesn't rain, I don't have to wear it. And if it gets too hot, because I don't know about all of you guys, but I'm in my 60s, so I have hot flashes. So if I get hot, I want to be able to take off a layer, and then at least I have a t-shirt at the very bottom so that I can stay cool if it gets hot. And then when we get to the coast, it's going to be hot and humid in the south part. When we get up to the north, the very last areas, or when we get to Playa Portero, it's going to be more like dry desert, right? So it'll get a little drier, but it's still going to be hot. So we have a little bit of everything, mostly hot and humid. But when we get to Arenal, you're going to want to be prepared with some warm things. Okay, so I talked about transfers. I dipped into weather.
Can I ask you one thing?
Yeah,
Okay. Can we go back to the airport?
absolutely.
Thank you. I'm in the big group. Yeah.
Okay.
What is it we're supposed to do?
So first of all, who's speaking?
Sharon.
Sharon. Okay, great. So Sharon, your flight is arriving at right here. Your flight gets in at 1:08. So when you get in, you're going to come through customs and immigration. And then there is in the arrivals area, there's a restaurant upstairs not the arrivals, I'm sorry. So you'll come in through arrivals and then go upstairs to where the departures area is, because there's a restaurant up above. And you can go up there and just, grab a table. Others will be there. You'll probably be there about like 2:00, I'd say. I will be there at 2:00. I'm going to head up there around 2 because by that time everybody will be there, and I'm just going to make sure everybody's arriving. I'm going to give you some luggage tags, and then I'll walk everybody down to where the bus is going to pick us up. So all you have to do is, go through customs and immigration and meet me at the restaurant above departures.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have a question about that? So again, the people that are at the hotel, we're going to pick you up at 2:30. And then we'll bring you to the airport. So you'll be on the bus with your luggage, and then we're going to stop at the airport and pick up everybody else who's at the airport, and then we'll head off to Arenal. Okay. I will also be at the hotel. You guys can see that. So for those of you guys who are at the hotel, I'll be there the night before. I get in late, but I'll see you at breakfast in the morning. So, I'll be with you all, and you can rest assured that we'll pick you up there at 2:30. Okay, so let's see. Then once we get to Arenal, we'll probably be there. So like Cheryl, you were there early. A couple of you and a couple of the other gals are taking an earlier shuttle. We'll probably get there at 6:30, but it might be 7:30. So depending on traffic, we're not 100% sure what time we'll be there. So it's a free evening, but I do intend to have a little bit of a happy hour at 7:30. So we'll play it by ear. But if you're there early, relax, enjoy, and you can do whatever you want. If you feel like eating early, that's okay too. Dinner's not included that night, but we're gonna do a happy hour. I'll buy everybody a drink, and then we'll all eat some dinner. But if you are hungry earlier and that's what you want to do, then by all means, because we are expecting to get there at 6:30, letting everybody check in, get to their rooms, bags delivered, and then we would meet at 7:30 for a happy hour, followed by dinner at the hotel. And I will be communicating with the hotel on our way up so that they have an idea of when we're coming. So the owner should know our ETA based on the time we leave. So I think there'll be 4 of you early. So the 4 early is going to be Cheryl, Robert, Renee, and Kathy. So you guys will run into each other.
Tammy, do you do anything like share all of our contact info? Like, so if we wanted to reach out, or no?
You do that on the chat here on the website.
Gotcha. Okay.
Trip
Yep.
chat. Yeah, so
Sure.
if you want to connect, you go ahead and then, but I will start the WhatsApp group. So then
Okay.
everybody will be on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay, so that makes it a little easier. So for now, you guys can connect this way because we don't share personal information.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And also, this is an aside, but sometimes people put on the chat, it's okay because nobody can get in the chat except those members who are booked. But anytime you're on our website, please do not put your information. We're so innocent. You think it's okay, but because it's a free membership on our site, there are people that come on with the intent to make a friend. And it could be for nefarious reasons. I mean, we watch, and if they start, multiplying the friends, as soon as somebody brand new comes and makes more than one friend, I get a red flag. It's that strict. But be mindful of that. If somebody reaches out to you that you don't know and they're not on a trip, our site is not a dating site. It's a travel site. So don't be flattered. Don't take the effort, because unless they're from your hometown, yeah, it's probably just somebody trying to connect for you for a different reason. So most of us know that now, but just in case, I like to say that. Okay, so back to the document here. We'll have a good time. Then the next day, we are going to start our touring. We have the Hanging Bridges tour. We're going to be gone all day. We're going to be doing some hot springs, and then we have a full day of hot springs. We have dinner one of the nights, and so we're going to have 3 great nights and 2 full days. On the 23rd, we'll leave at 12 noon. It should take 3 hours to get to the ship, but we're going to give ourselves an extra hour. And during that hour, that's when I'll pass out the sign up for the excursions, and we'll fill out forms, and I'll remind everybody about some of the ship life and teach you some Spanish. So at that time, I'm going to go back to this document for a minute, because this is what we'll fill out while we're on the bus. One of the documents that I texted everybody, even though it's on the website, is the list of excursions. So that was in the email that I sent you, your ticket, the 2 forms, and the list of excursions. So we're going to have in Capos, we're taking everybody to Manuel Antonio because you guys bought it in advance, and we have our own bus. We're all going to be together. And when we get to Manuel Antonio, we'll split into 2 groups. So we have the intention of one guide for, like 12 of us. So it'll be more intimate that way. And that's a nice, easy walk. It's no more than like a mile all along, and it's flat terrain. And so again, just your gym shoes, and we'll talk about weather that day. But that day is taken care of. So you don't have to look at the excursions there. You should look at Golfito. You should look at Playa Portrero. And give me a second though. Let me go back here. I just want to double check something. The excursions are here. Okay, so these are our included excursions is the Manuel Antonio, and then we're going to be doing the Palo Verde National Park, which is So Golfito, you'll want to look and see if there's an excursion that you want to take. But Playa Panama, we've already taken care of you. They also do the same similar trip, but ours is included. So you don't have to pick anything in Playa Panama. You may want to look at Bahia Potrero and Isla Tortugas. The last day in Puerto Caldera, almost all of you are on the transfer back to the airport with us with Singles Travel International. So you wouldn't book this one in Puerto Caldera. Okay. So there's just a couple people that didn't do that. They may want to look at that because it takes them on a tour and then to the airport. But you have to have a later flight. See, it's for flights leaving San Jose after 6 p.m. And I don't think anybody in our group has that. So this won't apply. So just to kind of recap for you guys, I'm sorry for the scroll. You're going to look at at Golfito, Bahia Potrero, and Isla Tortugas to book your excursions. And we'll do that on the bus. I have a master sheet with everybody's name. I'm going to pass it around. You'll just put a check next to the excursions you want. Then when we get on board the ship, I will book it for you. You'll be obligated to pay for it, but I will book it for you.
Tammy, of course, I was doing some research about the Star Clippers. And
Yeah,
they said because it's such a small ship, oftentimes there's not enough interest, so they do cancel. Do you know anything about that?
yeah, that's true. And
Okay.
so one of the things that
But they also
we
said when they
passed.
get to every port, they bring out toys anyway, like water toys.
They do,
So,
yes.
okay.
Okay, so and I'll talk about that. So as far as the excursion goes, yes, if nobody's interested, they won't operate it. So I just said there's 3 ports for us to book an excursion, right? So when we pass our sheet around, we're probably an anomaly compared to the regular guests that are on Star Clippers all the time. So if I get on and I go into the library that day and let's say there's at least 7 or 8 of you that want to do one of the excursions, it'll probably go. But the average Star Clipper person, they don't always take the excursions. So I don't know. It just you're right. It's true that it can cancel. But if enough of us want to go, then it should go. But it can be a disappointment if you're interested, you sign up. But if you're the only person in our group that wants to go on it, we'll still sign up.
Right.
And and then there's the ship is full, that I know. So there's 74 cabins or so. So there should be a maximum number of people on board. So the chances are better this week than there's been so many times that I've been on Star Clippers and it was half full. So then that also plays into the lack of interest or not having enough people. So there's no guarantee, but again, because we're a group and we like to be together, the chances are better. Now I'm going to say to your point about the water toys, they have a sport crew. The sport crew is going to every single day, whether we use it or not, they are going to haul all of the equipment to the beach. So they've got SUPs, they've got kayaks. It's not unlimited, but they might have 2 SUPs, a couple of kayaks, a Hobie Cat. They do have a Zodiac with skiing, water skiing. They have water ski. So if you want to water ski, they'll do that. So they bring all of that out to the beach and you can just hang out on the beach and do that as well. And I'm kind of recommending, unless that last day you want to do the wildlife sanctuary, but I think based on my experience, and I don't want to talk anybody out of this because we're here for the animals, right? By the time you get to the last day, you're going to have seen sloths. You're going to see this little white, the capuchin monkey. You're going to see the howlers. You're going to see the mafia monkeys. You're going to see everything by the last day. So I think the last day is kind of just a chill end of the vacation, beach day, hang out on the water. I think the chairs are like $5 on the beach. They have all kinds of restaurants. If you eat in the restaurant, they have seats, but they're not lounge chairs. So if you want to just hang out on the beach, I think that's also a valid option. Therefore, you really just have 2 ports that you might want to focus on doing an excursion. I like leaving a little bit of free time for people because otherwise you're just busy, right? And then you end up getting off a vacation and you need a vacation after your vacation. So yeah, so I hope I answered your question about the water sports, which is all included. And the first day, we will all have access to go get fitted for snorkeling gear, and that's included. So that first morning, it'll be on my schedule. It'll be sometime between, 10 and 11, 12 in the morning. You just go up to the sun deck and you grab your snorkeling equipment. So you've always got that too. Okay, theme nights.
Okay. I have a question while you are on excursions. May I?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a port where there is a good zip line you would recommend? I've told you have to zip line in Costa Rica.
There's only one place to do the zip line, and it's listed here. Okay, let's see. River.
Oh, the canopy thing?
Yes, this one here. So the Bahia Portrero Canopy Adventure, that's the zip line one. And the zip line in Costa Rica is good everywhere. It's excellent. This one, it says activity level is strenuous. I think there's 10 zips. So you're climbing, you're walking, you're zipping, you're hiking. It says guests will have to negotiate approximately 90 steps to reach the first platform. So you should be in pretty good physical health. So if you're already going to the gym and you feel active, then I would recommend that. But they do say that it's a strenuous activity.
Okay. And you said we can sign up while we're on the bus going there,
Yes.
but I've been on cruises where they're totally sold out of well, who have
Right.
cruises
Yes.
before we get there.
Yes.
So don't you think we could do it today?
No,
right?
Nobody on Star Clipper books in advance. They don't have a system for booking in advance. The way that they do the excursions is they have a book in the library with each day and each excursion. So that's why when we go on the bus, I'm going to take everybody's order. When we get to the ship, my very first assignment while you guys are having a drink at the bar, I'm going to the library and I'm signing. Will be first. I promise you, I'll be the first one in there. I'm an ex-New Yorker, so we'll be first. We'll be there. You won't get aced out. But that's why I take the orders that day, because if we wait a day, then some of the things may sell out.
Okay, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah. There's another one of me on board who beats me on board. We'll have to arm wrestle it, but that's never happened yet. But no, that's why we do it this way. We make sure we take your orders so that when we get on, we just go ahead and book them all. Then you have time to cancel if something comes up. It's usually 24 hours, but every day I'll let you know, you better cancel your trip by this time today. Otherwise you're going to have to pay for it regardless of going or not. So I'll make sure I remind everybody so you don't end up paying for something that you're not using. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this one now. Any more questions about the excursions though?
I have one, Tammy. I'm not going to be on the pre-trip, so do you want me to send in the excursions I want to do prior?
Yes, that was it. Yes, and we mentioned that, but thank you for letting me for highlighting that. If you're not on the R&L portion, there are 3 of you. Email service@singlestravelintl.com this week with what excursions you want to do in the other 2 to 3 ports. And then I'll add you to my list.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Tammy, if we don't do an excursion, are they typical ports like we would see on a larger cruise ship? Like if you just get off the ship and walk up, are there shops and, like a little, like, can we get off the ship? Is there something there to see if you're not on an excursion?
Not, okay. So to answer, it's not like other big ships.
Not like
right?
Costa Maya or something like that.
Not.
Okay. Okay.
We are in a super primitive area, and by
Okay.
the way, we are never docking. Our ship
Right.
is
The wet
always going
landing.
to anchor because there's nothing developed there.
Ah, okay.
So, and I don't want you to feel like you have to do the excursions, right? Because you could still chill on the beach, you can still walk. One of the ports, like Golfito, I mean, I did the dolphin ride and it was beautiful. I also like the catamaran ride. I think they're both similar. One of them is the last day. One of them's the cat. But Golfito has here. I'll go into the excursion part here. Let's see. So this, for example, in Golfito, they have the Golfo Dulce Dolphin Watch. So that was a fun day. If you don't go on that excursion, there's a restaurant on shore that was pretty upscale, and they had a nice menu, and they had a big brick pizza oven, and they had lounge chairs and a bar, and you could hang out there. But that's it, right? So you're either at the beach there, or there was a bar, but there's no town or anything right there.
Gotcha.
Same with in Playa Panama, we're taking you guys. So in Bahia Potrero, last time most of the group did the catamaran adventure. It's a deluxe. It's a leopard that comes alongside the Star Clipper, and we just go from our ship to the cat. So it's it's a luxury 4-cabin cat, and they had a chef on board, and they fed us, and it was open bar, and we just rode around for 3 hours looking for dolphins. And we saw them. We saw tons of dolphins. And then we went for, well, in and of the 4 hours, we went for a snorkel stop, and we snorkeled, and then we came back on, and everybody was just, partying and stuff before we went back to the ship. So those are the two options there, but that day it would otherwise be just like a beach stop. So, to answer the question, there isn't a normal town or even a made up town like Costa Maya where there's a ton of shops and stuff. So it's very laid back. We're in very primitive areas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And the catamaran one you said is the Bahia Potrero.
Yeah, and Bahia from Flamengo, maybe easier to say. So that's this one here. And that'll only take 30 people. So if that's something you want to do, I liked it, but I'm a sailor, and it was fun to go on a cat, and the food was excellent. I think they had like wraps, and they had some people fished. A couple people in our group, they pulled out a fishing pole and they got to do a little fishing. So it was a cool experience. And open bar again. So some
That's
people
actually the one I
like
have
that.
circled. So yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions about the excursions? And while we're on the bus, so again, I know 3 of you are not on the bus, but you can call me this week if you want. If for example, you're not in tonight's event and you're watching this as a video, I'm happy to accommodate. But for those of you that are with us in RNO, it's going to be a good 3-hour drive to the ship. So we'll have time to talk about this. I can answer more questions, and we'll make sure that you feel comfortable with what your selections were before we get to the ship. So theme nights, got to have a pirate night. The ship begs pirates. So one of the nights is going to be pirate. It's probably Wednesday night, and that's going to be, we have a Singles Travel International complimentary happy hour one of the nights, and I'm going to tie that in with our pirate night. So we'll be back on the deck. We have hors d'oeuvres, we have open bar, and everybody's in a pirate outfit. So it's great for all of our, Instagram and Facebook photos, and just a really fun night. And well, that'll be one night. So you can go from eye patch to full regalia. You'll see both. And the cruise ship does it. So by the way, we're not the only ones in pirate. Not everybody dresses. So if you're I would say 80% do, 20% don't. Nobody's going to make you feel uncomfortable if you don't feel like it. But some of you are new, and all the time the new people say, really, you guys are going to do that? But they do. Then they see that people do it, and they The next time around, they're more comfortable with it. But I will tell you that, you know, a good 80-90% of us will be dressed as pirates. Another little fun one, go wild night. This will be a little less outspoken, but just wear something with animal prints. You know, where we're down in Costa Rica, we're there to see the animals. So just, you know, whip out your leopard blouse or, you know, some kind of shirt, guys, a button down tropical with some dolphins on it or flamingos or something like that. Okay, it's just fun for pictures. And for anybody who's brand new with us, it's our first trip, I'm going to be bringing t-shirts, so you'll get a new t-shirt. And yeah, so if you've got a t-shirt from a past trip, bring it. Sometimes we do fun pictures up on the bowsprit. That's that forward part of the boat. That's the netting. So it's fun to get up there. You don't have to wear the shirt. You can do it at any time. I'd be happy to help you. Get up, get down, take some pictures. That's great. That's a really fun picture to get for your Facebook page, for your profile picture, I think. So we talked about excursions. There's everybody's confirmations, and then the departure flights. Here again is everybody's departure flight. So the yellow is the departure time. Sorry, this one here. On the 30th, for the most part, everybody's time. So we are going to leave the cruise port around 8 in the morning so that we're at the San Jose airport by 10. We had asked everybody to book a flight after 1 o'clock for that reason, because it could take us, you know, an hour and a half to 2 hours to get back. So we'll leave at 8, we'll get there at 10. And based on what I see, everybody should comfortably make it. There'll be a couple of close ones at noon. I see there's a noon, but you know, we'll be there, we'll be there at 10. So it'll be close, but you should make it. What else did I want to tell you? The weather, great. Yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to. This is a little bit, you know, basic here, but it is going to be chilly again in the mountains. 64 to 72. So the 64 is at night. Like right now, I just Googled, it was 62. So that's, for me, that's chilly. I'm a Florida girl. Maybe for some of you, that would be, it would be just fine. Feel balmy compared to Chicago, for example. Put in some, you know, packing tips. Again, we talked about layers, mixing colors. You know, try to pack one bag, you know, one medium-sized bag, because the cabins are small and they'll fit underneath the bed. But if you have 2 giant suitcases, you might be a little bit struggling with that. And we are on 49, we're going to have a 49 passenger bus. So we should be okay. But if you don't have to bring 2 big suitcases, if you can get away with one, you know, medium size and one small carry-on, I think you'll be most comfortable with that. We don't always have like luggage handling everywhere, but so be prepared to, you know, move your own bags if need be. I think we'll be at the hotel, we'll have somebody bring them for us. And of course, when we get to the ship, we'll have the bus driver offload them and we'll put them on the ship. But for those, you know, the girls that are coming separately, the driver may not be able to take you right up to the door. So you might have to bring your bags up the steps. And if I was there with you, I'd help, but I may not be, you know, I won't be with you. So I think one medium bag with a carry-on should suffice, because everything's casual. There's nothing fancy. So unless you're pirate outfits, you have a whole suitcase, nobody's dressing up on this. Like I'll wear in the evening some, like a dress, like a cotton dress or something, you know, just to be comfortable. Or, you know, you could even wear a pair of khakis. You can wear jeans to dinner. It's a sailboat, barefoot, no heels. Don't even bring heels. So that makes it a little easy to pack, right? It's going to be hot in the day, so you'll sweat, but you don't really need, there's no dress up. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. And they will do laundry on board the ship, and it's a pretty decent, I feel like to do a pair of slacks, it's €4, something like that, right? So it's pretty inexpensive. So if you do want to have some laundry done, they can do it for you, dry clean or launder. So there's a couple of things that I'm recommending. I really recommend here. So I'll start from, so I talked about the soft-sided duffel bag or a medium bag that'll go under your bed. I also, don't forget your bathing suits, the light jacket. We talked about, you know, rain gear, light rain gear. Binoculars are great, especially, you know, because we're going to be along the coast. You can grab your binocs and look out up on the deck. At night, we're going to be doing some celestial navigation. If you'd like, you can go up and watch the stars. So, you know, again, deck shoes or barefoot is fine. But when we get off the ship in each of the ports, well, then we're going to, you're going to want to wear water shoes, because when we get off the ship, we're going to come down the side of the vessel and we're going to get on a tender, which is the lifeboat. And then the lifeboat takes us to a Zodiac. And then from the Zodiac, we get off at the shore, and sometimes you have to walk in the water. So that is why I'm recommending here Tevas or Keens or other water shoes with a back strap for the water landing. So when you get off, you know, because if you have just flip-flops on, that's a little bit, for those safety professionals in the room, you know what I'm talking about. For those of us who aren't, then, you know, but they can slip off your feet, right? And so if you're transferring and your feet are wet, it's just good to have some shoes with a back strap. Sneakers or hiking, sunglasses, sunblock, visor, hat. It's going to be hotter. We're closer to the equator, so don't think, you know, you're going to get a tan. You're just going to get redder if you don't wear sunblock. Bug spray and Benadryl itch cream, one of those, so that if you did get bit by a bug there, you've got some of that. There is a nurse there, so you always can go to the nurse if you need any of these medical supplies, but some people like to bring it with them. I think it's a good idea. I call it the drinking swag, because it's hot and humid. So you know what happens when it's hot and humid, everything gets condensation. So if you have like a beer koozie, if you have a Tervis glass, a coffee mug, because on board the ship, they just have these little, you know, it's a regular coffee cup. But some of us, you know, we're used to Starbucks. We get the ventis. So I like my coffee for a while in the morning. So you can go ahead and, you know, bring a nice thermal coffee cup, and they have 24 coffee and tea up in the piano bar. So you always have the access to that. So I like to bring some of those things with me when I'm on my sailing vacations. If you have any Christmas decor, decorate your cabin. Let's have some fun. Inside the cabins, there's usually one plug for 110. So if you have a couple of devices that you need to plug in, I think it's a good idea to bring a power strip. Okay, so that if you have a phone and you have a camera, or you have another device that you want to plug in, it's good to have a little power strip. So you plug that into the 110 and then you can charge multiple things. So those are my biggest tips for things to bring. We talked about the internet connection, and packages are available once we get on board. Here's your inclusions, a couple of extra pieces of information, and just some rules of engagement here. I'm sure because we all signed off, everybody will come as good citizens, but we want to be able to respect, because it's a big group. There's 25 of us, and we're all from different areas. So let's get to know each other and learn more about each other. And then, of course, at the end of the trip, we have some ways for you guys to get credits for your next trip. Well, I'll talk about that more as we go. So are there any other questions before I'm going to stop the video, and then we'll do some Q&A offline. But I just wanted to see if anybody else has any other questions before I end the recording, because it's 8 o'clock.
I do, Tammy, just, again, it's Cheryl, shockingly. One, you said a soft-sided duffel, so like, are you recommending maybe not bringing a roller bag?
You can bring a roller bag. It'll
Okay,
fit.
so I
Yeah.
thought, because I thought you meant like soft-sided duffel empty, like for souvenirs and stuff, but,
Yeah,
okay,
okay, I see what you mean. But if you do want to buy some things, then you can bring like another little bag in your bag and open it up and, you know, put your things in there. But there's not a lot of souvenir stuff here.
okay.
Yeah,
Second, are there, safes in our staterooms?
yes,
No, there are, okay. I'm not bringing like anything valuable, just wanted to know. And
yes,
then I did make a little list.
yeah.
And you said hiking boots, like we're not even in Arenal, not necessary, just a good pair of sneakers, you think, or?
Yeah, I think you'll be fine with sneakers.
Okay,
So that's, I don't want to put burden. So if people have hiking boots, like I'm gonna burn my hiking boots because I have them. I don't get to wear them very often, so I'll bring them. But don't go buy hiking boots. You're
no, yeah, I have a pair. I'm just
Yeah.
debating. Like I said, I'm trying to go less on the clothes and more on the power strip, the binoculars, the other items that are needed.
good.
And then one more thing about exchanging money. Should we do that before, like AAA or, something
You
like
don't
that?
need, you know what? Everybody takes the US dollar.
Okay,
So you don't need to do that. Yeah.
okay. That wraps up my questions. Thanks so much. And you said 25 total are coming in our group?
Yeah, exactly.
Great, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody, so thank you.
Tammy, this is Janine. I just joined. Did you start early?
We started at 7 Eastern.
Oh, I read it as starting at 8. Okay.
Sorry, Jenny. Well, I recorded, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to end the recording. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, thanks for joining. We look forward to meeting you on the high seas, and to find us, we're at www.singlestravelintl.com. And I'm going to go ahead and stop share and stop video.